6 AI agents, each built with a unique edge. Miko, AI, Team Leader. Ori AI, Fundamental Analyst. XAU, AI, Technical Analyst. Mesa, AI, Risk Management Specialist. Fenwa, AI Market Sentiment Analyst. And Naledi AI, the cryptocurrency expert. Together, they're engineered to protect, guide, and transform your trading. The future of trading is here. Experience Zentrix AI.
Okay, what's up people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good as always. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Let me check I'm using the correct mic. Yes, I am. So yeah guys, eventful day yesterday. We had Canada interest rates and USD. And it looks like we have seen some strength on the dollar off the back of the rates yesterday, and looks like that could be the direction we're leaning towards. So my expectation for the USD pairs will be looking to play into that, looking for opportunities favoring USD strength. And we'll go through a bunch of them. We'll take a look at the DXY, bunch of USD majors, which one looks the best to trade, all of that we will discuss in a lot of detail. And what the plan is with gold and silver as well, and of course other markets too. So if there are any interests in terms of any time frames or particular markets or anything you're trading and want to share, drop it in the chat and we will be happy to discuss and take a look. What's up CS? Welcome to the stream, hope you're doing good. Francis, my man, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing good. Top of the morning to you as well. What's up Bashi? Good morning, hope you're doing good. I appreciate it, my man. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the content, drop a like, subscribe. All of that does really help out. And of course, drop any questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. Let's start with the DXY, because of course that's where the excitement was yesterday. Let me add the watermark. There we go. So yeah, in terms of the DXY, we have seen some strength. Now, is this strength something we should look to follow or look to fade? Well, I'm looking in the more following camp. I'm favoring more upside for USD. I do think this uptrend here, which has come to life in recent weeks, still does have mileage to it. However, again, still being careful, coming to some higher time frames of supply resistance, where again, you know, that overall selling pressure could still kick in. But I am favoring at least intraday or even intra-week long opportunities. What did I do there? The hell was that? Let me undo that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I didn't even know that was. Anywho, I like the longs on the dollar. Now, in terms of opportunities, I would expect you have to probably scale down to find some opportunities now, because especially when we do see momentum come into the market, we don't always see the biggest pullbacks when we do see the follow through. And it looks like we're having a bit of a pullback this morning. If I drop to the hourly chart, we've had a bit of a dip there. Looks like price come back to retest this area here. It would be nice to see price come back and take out that low, and then looking for some longs on the recovery. That would be something that would interest me. Perhaps some entries on the 50-minute chart, or of course we'll be looking at something similar on euro dollar as well, which we'll get to in a moment. But I am favoring more strength, and the reason I'm favoring that is, of course, we had this big drive and we've taken out highs here, because that was my big elephant in the room yesterday. I said prices starting to make some lower highs, and we're still, you know, consistent with the higher lows. So you have a bit of contradiction here. Is the market going to continue with this, or is it going to continue with that? Looks to me that the news has pushed it to the upside. And of course, since we have seen some continuation and a strong close above the high, I'm going to anticipate we're going to continue to the upside and go and test the highs there around 99.6. We'll see if we have enough juice to actually get the breakout, but that's the direction I'm leaning towards. So especially with the momentum from yesterday, looking for more upside now. Do we get this pullback to retest this low here? I'm not too sure. If I drop even further to the 50-minute chart, I mean, already broken structure here, and of course seeing some nice momentum there as well. Maybe a second flag, that could be nice around there for a buy if we don't get that bigger pullback. But either which way, I am looking us to go and take up the highs there and go and test the 4-hour highs over there on our left, 99.6, 99.5. And for me to rethink that bias, I would say I would want to see this low go. If that low goes, then I would just be back neutral. I wouldn't really be bearish, to be honest. I'll just be neutral again. And then see maybe if we get a bit more conviction, take out that low as well, then yeah, I would be leaning bearish. So yeah, leaning towards the bullish side of things now with the DXY. And it looks to me that we could be pushing back to 99.6 to go and test those highs. Let's see if we can find some intraday pullbacks. In terms of euro dollar, basically the inverse, of course. So again, these are your lows equivalent to the 99.6 we just mentioned. Price didn't take out the low here, which is something the DXY did. The DXY did take out that respective high, but because we've already got the DXY taking out the high, I would be confident to sell euro in that regard as well. So dropping a bit more intraday. I like the momentum we saw here as well. In terms of the opportunity for euro, I'm looking at a push back to the high here and then the short. That's what I'm looking for an entry, because we got that momentum from yesterday. You know, that's our news. That's what we had, the big push down. Let's see if we can respect that zone and then get the continuation, targeting this low and then this low here as well. So euro to me pointing down too. And for me to rethink my bias with euro, I would say if this high gets taken out, then I'll be back neutral. And if this high gets taken out, I'll probably be bullish at that point, especially if we're doing with a lot of force. But for now, bearish bias, looking to follow that momentum from yesterday. And again, this is what I was mentioning on the stream. Prior to the news, there's always that anticipation, a little bit of uncertainty. Once the news has happened, you can kind of see what the situation is, and so can the bigger players in the market as well, with the millions and billions to move from one place to another. Once they've kind of seen the gist of what's expected to come, they will start to add positions back into the market or move money to different places, and that's when the bigger move will happen. So I'm always waiting for the news to come out and then look for the opportunity shortly afterwards, because anyway, that's where the direction will come into play. Trying to get in before, it could be beneficial, but then more risk, slippage, spread widens. It's just not the best conditions to trade, and the uncertainty as well. But post news, you can get some nice opportunities. So yeah, let's see if we can get a pullback here for euro dollar, and then see if we can go and take up this low, and then maybe this low, take up that high. That invalidates the setup. In terms of pound USD's already been really bearish. It hasn't really needed USD to be strong. It's more so pounds being very, very weak, which has kind of calmed down now, but it is still relatively quite weak. And of course, followed by the USD strength yesterday, we did get a bit of a spike low, which I do believe just about spiked this low here, maybe to the pip. But yeah, it looks like we are slowly bleeding, and we are coming to a pretty critical level of support. So I'm not so interested with shorting pound USD. Maybe very, very intraday. We'll take a look at that in a second. There might be some very short-term shorts there, but I don't really want to be shorting into such a big daily level. Now, I do expect this level to break, because if you're going to see that prolonged USD strength, that does mean that pound USD is likely to keep falling. And if this is going to be a big top for the market, there's a lot of room for us to fall into. So I do think we'll probably eventually break support, but I don't want to be selling into that. I'd rather price to make that move, and then I'll talk about the pullbacks that will precede that. And when other USD markets are looking better, I'd rather put my attention there. So pound USD, I am bearish. It does look like we'll probably see some more downside. However, we are running into some big levels of support. So again, I would say intraday, you might be able to see if you can catch a push back to the high and take some shorts there. I'll probably suggest maybe like a 50-minute time frame, and then a push back to low, and that could be you done. Or maybe if you want to try and push it further, you can do, but of course, be aware there could be some trouble. So yeah, I do like that high there. Of course, the structure has been very, very consistent. There's your low, lower high, low, lower high. There's your new low. Now you're looking for the next low high for the next low. So pretty systematic, Market structure, not looking at anything complicated. Momentum's with the bears anyway. So if you are intraday, shorts look the best bet, but of course keep an eye on that 1.315 level. Dollar CAD, not my favorite USD pair to be honest, especially if I'm going to tackle USD strength. I don't think this is the best market to be looking to buy the dollar on. I mean, I can see some room to the upside, but we are kind of met with this big zone of consolidation, which did spit out a lot of momentum early in the week. So yes, buys might look good towards that area, but then things do get a little bit shaky here. Not to say that price can't break through this, of course it can, but it could get noisy and that could be enough to take you out the position or deeper pullback, and then the breakout proceeds. The other, euro looks a little bit better to trade, even pound looks better to trade for that small move back into the low. So yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of dollar CAD, but what I do like about the price action is that we kind of got this V-shaped pattern at play, which is one of my favorite patterns in the market. Very impulsive move down, followed by a very aggressive move back up again. Just about even took up the high there too, so that's technically your break of structure. Looks like prices pull back to form a high low, which basically giving you an inverse head and shoulder pattern too. So again, intraday, I do think we will eventually pick up some momentum back into the zone, but that's when things do get a bit scary. Is price going to respect that and come back down, or are we going to have the conviction needed to break through? We'll have to wait and see. Depends how strong dollar's going to be. Depends how weak CAD's going to be. But again, in the short term, I do fancy more upside there for dollar CAD, just being a bit cautious at that zone. And we have come back into a very nice level on the daily chart too. We have come back to the retest of this level, which is what I was discussing on the weekly analysis. I said perhaps we're going to get a pullback to retest this zone, and then maybe from here we see the next swing. So that could be in play. But of course, if you're going to trade it intraday, be careful those intraday levels there. So yeah, dollar CAD more upside. I do expect that. Could be some nice pullbacks intraday to ride that. But as you approach 1.398, 399, yeah, I would be quite watchful of those levels. Aussie dollar, I was keeping an eye on this one. I think I've missed the opportunity here. I mean, I was expecting to miss the opportunity, to be honest, because if I was going to short this, I had to short this pre-news. It's either that or I waited till the following morning, which is where we're trading right now, and price already had the really nice rejection yesterday. So I do expect more downside for Aussie dollar, but to be honest, this is never really a trade which I was looking for a big swing. It was more just reaction, more so just price coming to a very significant level, big level of resistance, supply level there. This was our previous high, which gave us this low. If the market is going to respect structure, you would expect to see some rejection here. So that's why I like that zone to begin with. But just because of how messy the market is and we're not really seeing any consistent momentum, it was more just a trade just to see if I can catch a reaction and a push back down, perhaps even back to this level here. So Aussie dollar, again, expect to see more downside. Perhaps there might be some nice shorts along the way. I'm not really seeing the best conditions here for a short, to be honest. Maybe another push back into the high here could be interesting. But again, I think there are other better USD pairs to be trading than Aussie dollar. Conditions, not great. New Zealand dollar. This one, again, looks like it could be getting ready to turn around. It hasn't pulled back enough for me to be interested. I've been speaking about this level all week. We did get pretty close, to be honest, but not quite enough to get there. So I wonder if the USD strength that does kick in might give us the move down. Maybe we still do have a bit more upside. We'll have to wait and see. But it's not quite there yet for me to be shorting. So still looking for a bit more upside before I do start actively looking for entries. But yeah, expecting a push back to that wick low, and just a continuation of the higher time frame trend, which has been pretty consistent, lower lows and lower highs. So yeah, more downside for New Zealand dollar, but being patient with this one. I've got that zone marked up for a reason. Gonna wait for price to get there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There will be other opportunities elsewhere. And in terms of gold, gold's been quite interesting. Of course, with USD strength coming to the market, that is a natural catalyst for downside for gold, but not really in this climate. The correlation comes and goes, so I wouldn't get too excited about that USD strength and thinking, okay, gold's going to keep falling. Not always the case. Doesn't mean gold can't fall, of course it can, but I wouldn't give too much meaning to the USD strength right now. I'll look for other stronger confluences for gold. But to be honest, I still do like gold to the downside. We came back to just about retest that range, which I was speaking about yesterday. The reason why I was holding off was again because of the news coming out later that day. But if price can revisit back to this high, provided I meet my requirements, I'm looking for a short there back to the low. I'm still not seeing any convincing bullish momentum yet for gold. I'm still seeing lower lows and lower highs, momentum still down. I'm very much interested with the shorts here. So if I can see a push back to 40.30, sweep that high, recover it, that'll be a place which I'll be happy to find a short, stop loss above the highs, target the swing low there. So yeah, no convincing momentum yet. I said if price can rally through that zone, I'll rethink my bias, but we respected it really well. And I'm still looking for entries, and likewise with silver as well. Still looking pretty bearish, still respecting this consolidation. In that regard, I think price can still make a move back to that low. In terms of entries, I did want to see price take out this high again before looking to short, but I like what I'm seeing. I think gold looks slightly better, but they're very similar. They'll probably do the same thing. So again, looking for entries here for silver too, back in a nice range, gave us a strong move down. I like the pullback. And again, haven't really seen any aggressive bullish momentum to put me off the short. So yeah, gold and silver, at least for the short term, still bearish. Again, I'm still very much long-term bullish. I do think these bearish moves have just been pullbacks for us to eventually push higher. But the question is, how far do we go down before we do see that momentum? At the moment, I'm not seeing any signs of the bias stepping in. So I'll keep that bearish bias for now, and still expect to give it a bit more downside. So yeah, that is kind of where we are at for the USD. It looks like we're seeing some USD strength, so that's the game plan. Looking for opportunities that favor USD buys. Again, not every currency pair looks good for that. I would say pound looks good, euro looks good. I'll say dollar yen looks good. We haven't looked at dollar yen yet, but that one looks good because also you got the yen weakness there too. So I think that's a really nice market to look to buy. So I'll say those three look the best in terms of opportunities. Others look okay, but I think those will be the more profitable ones. And then yeah, keep an eye on gold and silver to the downside, at least in the short term. Anyway, let's go through some messages. Where was I? Francis, Euro pairs seem like there'll be hella movements. Yeah, we do still. I completely forgot, to be honest. I was wrapped up in the Fed interest rates yesterday. I forgot we still. Where is it? Yeah, I forgot we still got the ECB today as well. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, we do have ECB today, 115. Rates are expected to stay the same, so might not see too much noise there unless something drastically changes. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on that if you are looking to trade euro or any euro related pairs. But yeah, we do have ECB. We've also got jobless claims as well this afternoon too, PCE and GDP as well, GDP growth rate. So there's still actually quite a bit of news left actually. I was just focused on the Fed, completely forgot about euro. What's up, Regina? Hope you're doing good. Has been long. Hope you're well. Good to see you on the stream. Annie, what's up? Welcome. Thanks for the all trade review. Got benefited. Nice. Appreciate it. Cool. Good to hear, Annie. Good to hear. We could take a look at some more oil, actually. Yes, we can go through palladium. Am I saying it correctly? I think I am. No problem. Good morning, Precious. Welcome to the stream. Hope you well. Dollar yen. I've got my eyes on dollar yen as well. It looks interesting. You got the strength from dollar, weakness from yen there. We just broken through highs. I would expect more upside for dollar yen. So I like the buys in that one too. We'll definitely go through that as well. Yeah, I'm watching the JPY pairs. I missed the pound yen trade yesterday. I'm absolutely gutted about that. It's always that situation where you don't want to risk it by getting into the news directly, because pound yen did give me a trade yesterday, an entry for a trade, an hour before the interest rates came out. And I knew that, of course, pound yen isn't the riskiest pair to trade for the Fed interest rate, because of course it's not directly affected, but pound yen can still be a big mover, and the Fed interest rate can still be a big mover for pound yen. I mean, look at what's happened there. Of course there's been other factors, but there's no coincidence that we've had the Fed interest rate and slightly momentum's picked up. But I was talking about a push to this low here. I said if price could spike through this low, then reclaim it, I will be looking for the entries on the recovery. And we got that, but this candle here opened at 1 UK time and it closed at 5 UK time, which was 1 hour before the interest rate. So I said, okay, let me let the rates go. If price is still there tomorrow morning, I'll be there to pick it up. Maybe price could have melted down. Of course, in this case, it did respect the zone pretty well. We'll be floating some decent profit right now. So yeah, that boat is sailed. It's either price does come back down against that low and I'll look for the same pattern to repeat, or we pick up some momentum, get a strong break of this high, and then look for some pullbacks shortly after that. Because the way I see it now, pound yen's just in a big range, so I don't really want to be looking to trade anything in the middle. I always want to be at the extremes, at the low or at the high. And because I'm not looking to short pound yen, I won't be looking to short the highs here. I'll be waiting for the breakout and then pullbacks. And of course, because I'm bullish, I would be looking for the dips here, which is exactly what happened. So yeah, a bit unfortunate with that, to be honest. Again, it's always a trade-off, because I could have took the trade, but then of course in another universe, momentum could have shifted and I could have taken a loss, which again, not really a big deal as long as you manage your risk. But yeah, that's just the added risk when you are going to be trading through the interest rates. The thing is, I don't mind holding trades through the interest rates, especially on the 4-hour chart, because I've got that wiggle room. It's just I don't like taking trades directly into the news, because spreads widen, uncertainty, especially in a big moving pair. It's not the best situation. If I'm in like the day before, yeah, that's fine. I'll hold through the news, but not an hour. So unfortunately missed that pound yen move, but again, there's always another good opportunity along the way, so no need to be too upset. Anywho, let's go through some requests. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll go through palladium. We'll take a look at dollar yen after, and we'll go through dollar CHF, euro pound as well. And LFTJ will take a look at Euro Aussie too, no problem. Alright, take care. Bashi, have a good one, my man. Appreciate you coming onto the stream. We'll see you in the next one, hopefully. CS, waiting for 1 day pullback, 298, okay, for the DXY long before impulse candles come. Okay, nice. Are you still holding on to the other USD positions you said you had? But yeah, I'm definitely leaning more into that dollar bullish buy, so hopefully I can join in some longs. What's up, Dimar? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, JPY pairs as well. We'll definitely go through a bunch of them because they're looking interesting. Okay, so I'll go through palladium first, and then I'll take a look at USD JPY. What's the prefix? Is it XPT? No, it's platinum. I always do this. XBD. Yeah, XBD. Okay, so what's happened since we last spoke? I can't remember. Where were we? Okay, I remember mentioning this low here. I think I was talking about that as a target. I can't remember exactly where we were trading, but anyway. What's to come next? Well, quite clearly this is a market which is starting to exponentially pick up momentum. So if I'm looking to trade this one, the only thing I'm looking to do is buy, especially as a swing trader. I like this big kind of consolidation, which kind of effectively symbolizes a bit of a bottom, especially when the market's been falling for quite some time. And now you just picked up steam and some consistency with these higher highs and higher lows. And to me, it looks like price just had another pullback and probably getting ready for the next high. So I sense opportunity here. So in terms of taking a trade, there's two ways you go about it: the slightly more aggressive route or slightly more conservative route. The more aggressive one is trying to pick the low, which is aggressive, but it provides a lot more reward, because if you do get it right, you're sat perfectly to trade the big swing. So I would be looking to see if price can push back into the low here. I like how corrective we are trading. Every time price does sweep a low, we have a bit of a pullback. So I would anticipate something of that nature again. And this is where I like to try and position myself long with some stops underneath, to at least capitalize on a pushback to like that counter trend line area. Then if we do see the break of that, yeah, I'm positioned very well for a swing back to the high. If you're looking for the more conservative, the more high probability entry, the safer entry, you would wait for price to kind of break out of this corrective channel, wait for that momentum to really kick in, break of structure, then try and look for pullbacks along the way back to highs. Of course, the downside of this is that you're entering a little bit higher, which means any kind of deep pullbacks will probably take you out the trade, and of course you're a bit higher price, so there's less room to take advantage, but more probability in your favor because you've already got that momentum in your favor. All you're doing is just riding that back to highs. But either which way, this one looks like it's getting ready for another higher low, another push back to 1620, we'll call it. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to time that. Either the more aggressive, you could do both as well. You could try and pick the low here, then add to the trade as things go well, and really trying to milk the opportunity. But yeah, to me, I'm liking this. I can't lie. And I especially like it because it's nowhere near prior highs. If this exponentially really picks up, I wouldn't suggest that we're automatically going to push to the high, but there is that route. If you look at gold and silver, for example, they've already spiked all-time highs. So naturally, people will be looking to be a little bit more calmer with actively buying those markets. I'm not saying they won't buy it, but a bit more active, a bit more calmer. Here, a lot of people can still see opportunity. Same with like copper as well. So yeah, I like the buys here. And yeah, in terms of dollar yen, this is probably one of my favorite currency pairs right now, actually. Just because of momentum we're seeing, the fact that USD looks like it's about to pick up some strength. It looks like the yen is still weak and could be weak for quite some time. So there's opportunity for us to push back to these areas, which are quite far away, which is again what the opportunity is. If you have price trading at a certain value, you expect it to get to a higher value. The difference is your opportunity. If price is already trading quite high, then there's not much opportunity for it to go. Well, there is opportunity for it to go higher, but just not as much in this situation. Which is why I like to trade pound yen, because pound yen is not back at a major high either. So I'm still interested in this pair because I'm expecting pound yen to get there. Euro yen and Swiss yen, I still like them because of momentum, but they've already taken out highs here. So I'll be expecting deeper pullbacks for these soon, especially in Swiss yen's case because that's made all-time highs. But yeah, dollar yen's still got a lot of room to the upside if it does want to get back to these highs here. And with the momentum we're seeing, it's just going to be about buying pullbacks really. So if I go to the daily chart, you can see we've broken through this resistance here, which is pretty significant. Of course, this daily candle hasn't closed, but that strength is looking really good. We'll see what it does look like by the end of the day. But if it can close like that on the day, that would give me a lot of confidence going into not only tomorrow, but the next week or so, just to be looking to buy pullbacks. Now, this is our low, that's our high, that's our low. And of course, this is a new high in the 4 hour chart. So I'll be looking for like a pullback anywhere within here. As we drive higher, I'll be looking for something like this for the next leg. Yeah, as I said, those are the next big targets. You can probably look at some of the psychological levels as checkpoints along the way. But yeah, dollar yen looks really good to me. Dollar yen looks really good. So yeah, more upside there for dollar yen. Just looking to buy the dips. Okay, so we'll go through dollar CHF next. So we'll take a look at euro pound as well. We'll go through euro Aussie too. No problem. We'll go through some yen pairs. Nice, yes. GJ, moments between climb is not over yet, only halfway. Yeah, I still think more upside as well. Still holding my longs from 200.9. Okay, doing really well this week, CS. Got the USD longs and GJ as well. And to that, I agree with you. I do think GJ still got room to climb, and I think dollar still got room to climb. So I think the opportunity is not done yet either for both those situations. In terms of dollar CHF, so this is one of the more choppier USD pairs, and I'm not so inclined to trade this one, to be honest, because I don't really have that bullish structure in my favor. I mean, there is some slight bullish structure here, low, high, low, high, low, high, so on and so forth, but it's quite flat. And if I zoom out, it's kind of just, yeah. I mean, euro is not much better. But I like euro because there's been a bit more of a, developed bearish structure. So I don't mind shorting. If I take a look at euro quickly, you can see for euro USD, we do have this selling pressure here that's lasted quite a while. So I don't mind taking advantage of that. Dollar CHF, we've only seen like a week or two worth of upside here. So it's a bit more new and a bit more less trustworthy. And CHF has of course been so strong. But nonetheless, if USD is going to be strong and maybe CHF is going to pause a little bit, I would expect dollar CHF to break higher as well. I just don't see a great opportunity to buy it, that's all. I think maybe if we can break the high here, that would be interesting. That's still fairly far away, so that's nothing I'll be keeping a close eye on because it's still going to take some time for that to happen. But yeah, I just don't see a great opportunity for dollar CHF. It looks like this low is holding. Test it once, second time dip below slightly, third time test it. So it looks like we are forming some type of bottom, and altogether this is pretty much consolidation. But should momentum pick up here, okay, that's a sign that maybe the buyers are taking charge, and we can look to find the dips along the way. So dollar CHF could be one that's looking to transition, reverse. I think it will be, but I think it's just a bit too early for me to be looking for any entries just yet. At least for how I trade. So yeah, dollar CHF, pausing a bit with that one. I mean, I think intraday you might get away with it. I mean, I like this zone here. Maybe if you can just pinch this low, that could be a nice trade. Trade it back to highs there. That way you're still taking advantage of momentum, and because you're intraday you can be in and out and not overstay your welcome. But from a swing perspective, it just looks messy. To be honest. But yeah, intraday momentum, you can get that back to highs. Okay, so we'll go through Euro Aussie and Euro Pound. And we'll go through some yen pairs as well. What's up, Tony Gold? Hope you're doing good, my man. Welcome to the stream. Let me see what people are, because I think mostly people are going to be looking to buy the USD as well now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think pound USD might be a good play because I would imagine a lot of people are looking to buy pound because of course it's really far down, but because if USD is still going to be strong, then that provides a lot of opportunity because you're going to have a lot of cluster of retail long here, and of course a lot of opportunity for that to be taken out. So you've got the buys from the USD strength, and the fact that there's a lot of people sitting underneath here might give you the green light to short this one. Euro's case might be a bit more 50-50 because retail normally go against the grain, and because there isn't really a grain here to go against with euro, it might be a bit more choppy this one, but pound might attack the lows pretty hard, and especially with pound already being weak as well. Anyway, but you can see the strength here for euro pound. You can see the difference here with euro, of course, pushing higher. To be honest, I was actually keeping a close eye for euro pound longs this morning, but I might have missed the boat. I mean, we haven't taken up the high yet, so if we have a miraculous pullback, couldn't say the word there, I would be interested for some longs. I like the opportunity if you can push into lows, sweep them, and then recover for a buy. I probably dropped to like a 15-minute chart just to really refine the entry. But I like the idea because we've seen a big breakout for euro pound. So I'm looking to see if I can take advantage of that momentum. Price has been very, very flat. We've just had a big breakout. Is this set to continue? It looks like it. And can I find an intraday opportunity back to highs? I probably could. So I'm not asking too much from the market. You've already got the momentum there to back it up. It's just, can we get a push back into the low here? We'll have to wait and see. This opportunity stays valid until price takes the high. If price does take the high, then I won't be interested in this pullback. So yeah, euro pound, I'm pretty bullish. I like the intraday. In terms of swing, I would hold back. I wouldn't even be looking for like a swing like that, just because I don't really trust euro pound like that. It's a very choppy pair. Even with breakouts like this, yes, intraday you can ride that momentum for a little bit, but more often than not, you're going to see this momentum eventually fade and turn into some weird another pullback or consolidation. All you have to do is just look at the history of euro pound. Every breakout is always a little bit. I mean, it will last for a bit, then it will get into its choppy nature. So intraday is probably the best way to trade it because you can be in and out, take your profit and run. Whereas swing, you have to really bide your time. But yeah, as of now, euro pound super bullish. Just looking to buy the dips there, to be honest. Euro Aussie is another market which, if it does break lower, could be a lot of opportunity, to be honest, but still bouncing at support. We mentioned this market yesterday. I said there could be some short-term buys here, but I'm not quite convinced like a full swing. Again, we've got the range here, range highs, range lows. Price had a really nice wick into the low there yesterday. I said that could be a nice entry on itself. Nice piercing wick. You could enter on the close of that candle. Stops a bit below the wick there. Would be in some nice profit, but equally, I didn't say I'm looking for a big move here. I said maybe a push there. And then start to manage the trade a bit more actively, because if you look at pound Aussie, which is a very correlated market, this one's had a big breakout, and it doesn't look like pound Aussie is just having a bit of a pullback to recover to push highs. It looks like things are shifting for pound Aussie, and you could be doing something like that. And you don't want to be in a situation where you got contradicting directions for very similar markets, because that's just not in sync. You want similar markets to be pointing the same way. That gives you more probability of the move happening. For example, if you're looking to buy Euro USD, but then you're looking to sell pound, that contradiction just means both trades are not very high probability. If both euro and pound look like they're about to push up and they're both giving you good opportunities, just pick one, and that normally is a confluence in itself. So that's kind of one of my question marks here with Euro Aussie, because yes, we're at key support, yes, we've rejected it well, but that lack of synchronicity between other correlated markets makes me believe this move probably won't go too far. Probably still enough to make a decent profit, but I would be a bit more surprised if we do see a swing all the way to resistance, to be honest. And if Euro Aussie does eventually break support here, I'll be looking at a push to this low, and we can speak about the break opportunities and the pullbacks along the way. So if we do see a breakout, I think there could be some really nice shorts there too. So either which way for Euro Aussie, there's opportunity. I think the bigger one probably is the downside at this point, but let's wait and see. We still need to get the breakout if that's the case. Yeah, in terms of the yen pairs, just lucky guess. To be honest, again, that's all trading is. You're not here to be correct for every single trade. We're here to deploy an edge into the market, and that's all the certainty we have is the edge. Individual trades will come and go, will be right, will be wrong, some howlers, some great trades. As long as you can stick to the process, that's the important thing. And if you get a good opportunity, you take it. Some is going to lose, some are going to win. The important thing is manage your risks. Don't let the losses get to your heart, and don't let the winners get to your brain either and get too confident for it. Just stick to the process, keep the edge, and try and expand on that. But yes, we'll take a look at CJ as well. You think CJ going to stop at 111 or proceed to 117 once a pullback? Okay, I'll go for a bunch of yen pairs now. They do, Francis. They do. Actually, let's start with CAD yen. So yeah, with CAD yen, I'm actually interested in CAD yen as well. I did say CAD yen is one of the yen pairs I'm not interested in. But to be honest, with a breakout like this, momentum picking up, that's just completely shifted, because I understand that a big part of my trading, especially if I'm looking to follow trends and buy pullbacks, is momentum. You know, as a retail trader, I'm not creating my own waves, but I'm there to try and ride them. And if a market is very stagnant, very flat, lacks direction, that's an instant red flag for the way I look to trade. But once that does change and does shift, which looks like CAD yen is doing, now this becomes something I'm interested in. We've got some major highs to our left, which we could be looking to go and take out. We've got 110.4, which price is only a few pips away. And we've got 111.5 as well. That's a little bit further away. But yeah, CAD yen is looking super bullish. Similar setup to CAD yen, to dollar yen, breaking through equal highs. Now just looking for pullbacks along the way. The KG, you asked me, do I think if price is going to stop at 111 or proceed to 117 once a pullback? Where's 117? Over there. Again, I don't like to think too far into the future, to be honest, because I could be right about that bias, I could be wrong. My goal is to make money, not exactly be correct on the move. Because I could have that prediction in terms of a push to 117, but maybe something between now and then changes, and we're looking bearish. But then I still take advantage of a short back to these lows. So does it matter if I did call 117 or not, or does it matter if I actually took advantage of the move? Yeah, that's the more important situation. But out of just interest, do I think price can get there? I mean, judging momentum, I would say yeah. The way it looks to me is that price has had this push. It looks like we've had a pullback, fired some wicks into the low. This is definitely going to be an interesting level, because I would say if we can break through this and see a strong close, especially in the monthly chart, I mean, we'll find out in the next couple of days, then yeah, I would expect price to go and take out that high. Equally, we could have a lot of trouble here like we've done in the past, and this can turn into a big range, which could eventually roll back over. So to answer your question, I would be leaning towards that 117, 118, 120 mark, but the big catalyst, the big thing I'll be paying attention to would be this level here, especially if you can get a strong close like that. Yeah, that's a big sign. Again, it's not guaranteed, but at that point, yeah, pullbacks back to the high looks likely. So yeah, I'll be pretty bullish on CAD yen, but yeah, just take it one step at a time. I wouldn't necessarily be banking on 117 just yet. At the moment, I'm still looking for price. I'm still looking for price to go and take out this high and that one as well. But in terms of the technicals, a bit more intraday, 4 hour, yeah, lovely pullback over here. Really nice breakout. That's the next opportunity I'm eyeing up. Is that a little bit of Dutch there? My Dutch is not quite... is that Dutch or German? I'm not too sure. I know you're saying thank you. Yes, I think you're saying my analysis is good. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, my German or Dutch is not that good. A KG, nice. Same with me. I've just been playing on the daily level. Okay, with the yen pairs because they're a little too erratic for me. Some only day targets. Yeah, fair enough. Again, yeah, the intraday time frames are going to be erratic, to be honest, and I think there's a lot of edge, to be honest, just looking at the higher time frames and just plotting the longer term moves, and not getting too sucked into the noise, because that's when a lot of fluctuation happens. So I would suggest have those higher time frame targets, but also have things in place that, okay, if this happens, I will have a different target, or I'll no longer expect price to get to that target, because you can get trapped in situations where you have like a long-term target and then you just have the expectation that price has to get there, and that will skew your trading as well. I think the important thing is not letting the lower time frames dictate too much where you think price will go. Lower time frames are good just for the next kind of few hours, the next day potentially. But in terms of real trend and real direction, you really want to be looking at the daily chart for that. And that will help you kind of filter out some rubbish trades too. If the daily chart's pointing up predominantly, you just really want to be taking buys, really. Sure, you can get away with sells here and there, but it makes your life easier if you just focus on the buys. Francis, only one, unfortunately, my man. Only one. I've been on and off with a bit of Spanish, so my Espanol is well, it's actually cut. It's not bad, to be fair. It's been a while since I picked it up, but yeah, only English, to be honest, which is not good. I need to increase my languages. You get back on Duolingo. Okay, so I will go through the rest of the yen pairs, because with this momentum we've seen, pretty much all of them are looking interesting. Maybe apart from like New Zealand yen. Okay, so yeah, CAD yen looking at pullbacks on the retest of that zone. Dollar yen looking at pullbacks, retest of that zone. Pretty much an identical setup to CAD yen. What else? Of course, pound yen. I've missed the trade I was looking for. So it's either price comes back into the low, or we go and take out this high and then look for pullbacks. And the Swiss yen, that one's still pushing. I like the buys here. Swiss still looks strong to me. So again, looking for more opportunities. We're only just taking out the high, so I'm not looking for like a break and retest of this high just yet. That needs to really push through for me to consider. I'll be looking at deeper pullbacks for now before the buy, unless of course we do see real conviction. Then yeah, I would bank on the continuation there. And then Euro yen as well, still looking very bullish. Taking out this high well. Probably does need to push a little bit further before I will look for longs, but that's the play there with Euro yen too. Just expecting more upside. The trend has been so consistent. No need to go against that. Better than me, I know half of English. So only half the language, Francis. Making me feel better. Okay, yeah, New Zealand yen and Aussie yen. So yeah, New Zealand yen, Aussie yen, the only two currency yen crosses which I'm not really feeling that much. Actually, Aussie yen's not too bad. New Zealand yen, because of the location where we're trading, it's not that I don't expect us to go higher, because the yen pairs, they move in sync. Yeah, if the yen's going to be weak and that's going to be the theme, 9 times out of 10 you see all the yen pairs make the same move. It's just some yen pairs, of course, will look better. In New Zealand yen's case, it doesn't look that great based on the location, based on where we're trading to. That could change, however, if I do see a very convincing breakout. But equally so, I'll still be careful, because the last time we did take out major high was back over here, and you can see what preceded a corrective move and a big pullback. As soon as we take out this high, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but it does leave room for that. Whereas the dollar yen, CAD yen, we're having a bit more strength with the pullback, so I like the theme there more. So yeah, New Zealand yen, again, anticipating more upside. I would suggest keep an eye on the break of that high. There could be opportunities that follow that, but I wouldn't be looking to short. I understand we're in a range and now price is pushing to the up end of the range, so naturally there could be some shorts here, but no, I would not focus on that. I'll be looking for the breakouts and following that momentum. And in terms of Aussie yen, which is just slightly better, just because we've got more of a trend at play. So again, you're taking advantage of that. We do have this supply zone to our left, which I'd watch out for. But predominantly the market is really bullish here, and it looks like we've just taken out that high. So again, I'll be looking for like a deeper pullback for Aussie yen before the long. There's no like break and retest opportunity that I can spot that looks good. But should we get like a deeper pullback, especially into like this trend line, that would be nice. Again, Aussie yen could be a market that's getting ready to take out this high here too. But yeah, momentum's up, trend's up, not interested in shorts at all. Just focusing on taking advantage of that momentum. Market is looking super, super bullish. I know some English, and the rest is my dialects. Oh, okay. Bahamian. I never heard of that. Interesting. What sort of language is it? Is it like is it relative just to the Bahamas, or is it like, do other Caribbean islands speak like similar like variation of the same language, or is it like this is a language of the Bahamas? I haven't actually read into that, so this is the first time I'm hearing that. But yeah, I mean, of course, you're from the Bahamas, so yeah, I'm born and raised in the UK. So if my English is not at least to a decent standard, then what have I been doing my whole life? But yeah, that's actually quite interesting. But yeah, I do need to adopt another language. I mean, I am in another country, so it would be rude for me not to learn the native language here, even though I haven't started yet, but I do need to. But yeah, I do want to learn some other languages as well. Keep the brain sharp too. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out our Perps platform, make sure you go do so. I have dropped the link at the top of the chat so you can't miss it. It is pinned. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the Perps platform, I highly recommend to go and check it out. It's a platform that allows you to trade Perps, cryptocurrencies. We'll be adding other markets. We've added some indices recently. Forex, commodities, stocks even will be coming to the platform as well. And it's a really nice, safe environment for you to trade markets which you're familiar with, even markets you might not so be familiar with, which you want to experiment with. And it's an environment where everything is decentralized, so you don't need to worry about requesting for withdrawals. Everything is settled instantly. There's no restrictions. There's no like, okay, we don't service this country. Everything is open to everyone, and withdrawals, deposits, all instantaneous. You don't have to worry about, if I'll get the green light for my withdrawal. Nope, it's just done instantly. And if you do have any Solana or Ethereum wallets, you can connect directly to the platform and trade directly from your wallet. You can also trade in a demo environment as well. So if you want to get a feel for the platform, you can do that too. But as you can see, a bunch of different cryptocurrencies to trade from and also adding some indices, but other markets are still to follow. And one of the price features is the AI tool, which will do analysis, sentiment analysis, support resistance levels, actual tradable setups as well. So if you're interested, check out the platform. Again, this is a platform which is still very much developing and see if we can take to the next level. But if you're interested in trading perps, this is definitely the place to go and check it out. And the link to that is at the top of the chat. And I do have videos going into detail how to use the platform as well on my channel. So check that out if you haven't done so already. Okay, close to the pronunciation. Yeah, I knew I was gonna get it wrong. And it's still English, but Jamaican. But like Jamaicans, we have. Oh, okay, cool. Makes sense. Yeah, bad English. Yeah. How does the platform work? Do you have a video on it? Yes. If you go to my channel, scroll down a little bit. Actually, let me see if I can actually just bring it to you. But yeah, it's because I'm a big believer in the evolution of trading, not only Forex, not only stocks, indices, but the whole trading world together, and how everything is done now and how it will change in the next few years. And the idea of the platform is to get people in early and see how trading perps, which is basically the same as trading futures, but the difference between perps and futures is that perps, the contracts don't expire. Futures, they do expire. Perps, which stands for perpetual, it means it's ongoing, continuous. The contracts don't expire, and when you close the trade is when the contract's over. So one of the big benefits of this, especially on a decentralized platform, is that there's no restrictions, no brokerage required. You deposit from your wallet, you trade, you withdraw straight away, and there's no kind of identification. There's no kind of KYC checks. The only ID we have is the wallet of the user, so we don't even know who the trader is. So it's just about finding a platform, trading your instruments. At the moment, cryptocurrencies and indices available, but like I said, we're adding FX as well, and commodities, stocks even very soon. But yeah, if I find the video for you. So yeah, let me bring this to the screen. So can you see? Yes, you can. So of course, this is the channel. So yeah, this is the video to check out. This is a video going on how to use the platform, what it's about, what to expect as well. And I also recommend checking out this video as well. That goes over the AI feature and how to use it. But yeah, I'm a big believer in the development of AI in trading, in life in general, to be honest. And I think a big part of that is just getting on the right side of the curve. So yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. It's completely free to use, by the way. Free to use, free to sign up. The only thing is you just have to have an Ethereum or Solana wallet connect to the platform and trade straight away, but you don't have to like pay to use it or anything. Yeah, feel free, and let me know if you do. Okay, so I think going forward, I'll go through some of the minor markets and I'll take a look at some of the indices as well. But I think with everything set up now, especially if the interest rates come out, I reckon the big movers now are going to be the yen pairs and the USD pairs. USD pairs especially because they've been consolidating for quite a while. DXY has been very indecisive. We had a fantastic 2/3 of the year with that momentum. Now, the past kind of 1/5 of the year, or maybe even 2/5. The maths is not quite adding up right now, but you get the point. We have been very, very flat and indecisive, which is a bad thing and a good thing, because it does mean that price is eventually going to build up and eventually going to break out. Momentum is going to pick up again. And that's when the opportunities come, especially if you're looking for momentum and pullbacks. It's just in this period, you have to be very careful and very selective, or completely step back and leave it alone and focus on another market which is moving, like the yen pairs have been. So I still think there's a lot of opportunity with the yen. The reason why I say that, if you take a look at the yen basket, which again is the predominant trend behind the yen against the other major currencies. If I go to the weekly chart for this one, look how bearish the market is looking. I know this is not like a big picture. It only goes back to 2019, but at least for the past 6 years, we've been heading down. And it looks to me that the support here is breaking. And where's the next support level? There. So to me, it looks like the yen has a lot of room to fall, which means the major yen crosses all should be looking to fly. And then especially with the DXY also consolidating here, and looks like it's getting ready for a break to the upside, means that USD pairs could be looking to gain some real strength. Well, USD could be looking to gain some real strength, but of course the crosses might be looking to fall. So pound down, euro down, Aussie down, so on and so forth. Which also means one of the best opportunities could be buying dollar yen pullbacks. If we're going to see the breakout to the upside for the DXY and the continued fall of the yen, well, that means a very nice opportunity should occur on dollar yen. And on paper, it looks like that is the case. Momentum's starting to pick up. It looks like we've got some targets we can work towards. Altogether, it still has been a very bullish market, so it's still in favor of the larger trend. Price is basically just coming back to respect support. Something like this happening isn't such a crazy move. So I think pullbacks from dollar yen could be one of the smart plays for the next 2-3 weeks now, maybe even longer. So yeah, as we get the break of structure here, we're just looking for the next pullback, and we've still got quite a bit of room to our next big level, 158, and then beyond that 161, 162. But even if we don't find opportunities on dollar yen, I think the other yen pairs should look good as well. Maybe not as good, and likewise the other USD pairs should look good too. Yes, we can take a look at Euro CHF long swings, no problem. Francis, what's your top 3 watches for today? Okay. Yeah, I can take a look at that. I don't really normally do a watch list for the day. It's normally for the week, but I can share some opportunities which are likely to set up for the next maybe 24, 48 hours, at least before the end of the week. But yeah, I'll go through Euro Swiss first. So yeah, in terms of Euro CHF, we have been very flat. Again, I'm not in love with the longs until we take out this low. That's when I'll be looking to try and long Euro Swiss. Again, positioning and location is very, very important for me. It's not only about, okay, why you're looking to long, is of course where you're looking to long from. And that for me is just as important. And I do want price to take out this low before I do think about buying. So I understand Euro Swiss is a very choppy market. It looks like it could be looking to bottom. It's a big maybe and a big if. But it is definitely flattening now, and that trend is definitely dying or fatiguing. So I like what I'm seeing, and I do think there could be a lot of upside, but the better opportunity would be waiting for this wick to go, then waiting for that to recover, then buying after that. Because every time price does form a low, it has that pullback. New low, pullback, new low, pullback. There's a good chance we form a new low, we'll probably get that big pullback. So I don't want to be buying the dip here, because I do think it's too early. Not that it's too early that it won't work out. Of course, we're not. We can't see into the future. Maybe price, moves 1,000 pips from here. I don't know. But what I would say is that would be the better opportunity. So I would wait for that to happen for Euro Swiss before looking at longs. But yeah, you're right. We're coming to looks like a fatiguing end of this trend. So trying to buy the lows is a merited play. But I would say, of course, be careful. Trend is still down. Not being so optimistic with targets and managing that trade along the way. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet for Euro Swiss longs. I know momentum is picking up, but that's the location which buys will make sense. In terms of my top 3 watch lists, I would say Euro USD shorts. If we can sweep the high, I'm not too sure if we will. I like the shorts here. So if we can sweep the high there and recover it, I think that's a fantastic place for shorts. You got the momentum from the interest rates yesterday, coming back into a key supply zone, respected highs there. I do see us falling over. I'm just looking at the continuation of this bearish trend here and anticipating that to be the next low high and this to be the next low. Even if we swipe the high here, but recover it quickly, I think that is still an effective trade too. So I'm looking at this high or that high. Those are the 2 highs I like for a sweep and a reclaim, and then the short, and then targets back to this low. You can look at this low here as well. It depends how aggressive you want to be. Either lows are fine. So again, in terms of for today, I'm not too sure if we will get this opportunity today. If I drop to the 15 minute, I mean, this could maybe happen today. I mean, it's already 11:12 UK time, so you've only got another good maybe 5 hours worth of trading where volume's good before it does start to diminish. Maybe you get the setup, maybe you don't, but maybe it does set up tomorrow. So next 48 hours could be an opportunity. And this, if we have a much bigger pullback than anticipated, if we can respect this high, if we can respect this high here, that'd also be a nice level to short from. And then yeah, push back to this low, push back to this low would be the point. Second one, I would say dollar yen longs look really good. Again, I don't expect this one to set up today. It might not even set up tomorrow. But I definitely this is a solid market to keep in your watch list for the next couple of weeks here. I think the opportunity is going to be really, really nice. Momentum should pick up well, especially if you're trend friendly. That's how you like to trade. Yeah, this could be a really nice market to look for. Really impulsive break. Let's wait for the next pullback and then hopefully an opportunity for continuation. So I really like what I'm seeing for dollar yen. But this is, again, maybe for the next week or two to keep in mind. Not that it would take that long for a setup, but that's how long I expect the move to happen. Maybe we do get set up tomorrow, but yeah, direction looks really good. So buys on dollar yen. I'll say pound USD shorts, but maybe the boat has gone with this one because of how weak pound is. This one's very intraday, and this one you could just look in for today and tomorrow, to be honest. If I drop 15. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing, consistent lower lows and lower highs. If price can sweep the high here and then recover it, I think that's a fantastic place for a short. As long as price doesn't take out this high here, you're looking good. That looks like a nice place for a short. Stops above the high. Targets back at that low. Of course, be wary. You do have a big support level, so I wouldn't be looking for a home run. It's more so, okay, there's a lot of momentum in the market. Let me see if I can squeeze a bit more juice out of that, and then call it quits at that low, or you can maybe hold a position to run if you want to. But I'll say those three look the best. What's up, Yoshi? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. I'll say those three are the best. I'm thinking, yeah, euro shorts, pound shorts, dollar yen longs. I like CAD yen longs as well, but excuse me, it's in a similar predicament as dollar yen in terms of excuse me. I'm not expecting this pullback to happen in the next. I mean, it could happen in the next couple of days, to be honest. Definitely not today. It might set up in the next couple of days, but this is a good buy as well. And yeah, that's mainly where the focus is. So yeah, keeping a very close eye on those. What's up, Bashi? Welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing good. Appreciate the message. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, drop a like, subscribe. It does really help out. Drop a like, share it with your friends, and of course, drop any questions, queries in the chat. We'll be happy to discuss. But yeah, my game plan is definitely looking to see if I can buy the dollar, sell the yen, and of course on paper, dollar yen should be the better markets to trade. Just no pullback at the moment, and I hope prices doesn't explode because I need pullbacks for opportunities. Of course, I'm not going to chase the pair, but yeah, I'm going to need some pullbacks there. So yeah, the game plan: buy dollar yen, buy CAD yen, buy pretty much any of the yen pairs, maybe apart from New Zealand and Aussie. They might be a bit sketchy. USD pairs: sell euro, sell pound. Those look the best, really. Let's see how gold and silver looking. I think gold and silver shorts look good, but of course just automatically more aggressive trades, so be careful with those. Because despite, yes, we have a nice bearish market, you know, we had the equal highs back over there, the break of structure, a lower low, lower high, lower low. So we've got some continuous momentum, even breaking through lows to our left there too. So the shorts actually do look good on paper. It's just, of course, the predominant trend is still up, even despite that move. So we are still a bit counter trend here, but we do have some structure to support the shorts. It's not like we're shorting right behind here. So gold shorts is still something I'm interested in, and likely so silver shorts too. Same play really, back at the range, looking for that double top sweep of the high, and then a push back into the low. These are still good opportunities, but I'll put them slightly lower class than the other FX opportunities I mentioned. Dollar CHF kicking in, haven't kept an eye on that one. What's Dollar CHF doing? Okay, yeah, momentum's looking strong. I said maybe if we can sweep the low there might be a bit of an entry, but nah, looks like this dip here is enough for us to see some momentum. And looks like we're pushing back into resistance now. So yeah, I mean, dollar CHF is not my favorite USD pair, I have to admit. But of course, if USD is going to be strong and you got the crosses, you got the confluences, you expect dollar CHF to eventually pick up too. But I'd rather focus on some other USD pairs. But yeah, momentum's picked up. Maybe if CHF does see some weakness as well, that could be a smart little trade there. What about Aussie CAD? Yes, we can take a look too, no problem. Bashi market's a bit, but GJ looking good still. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think momentum's just starting to pick up. I think intraday might be a little bit noisy down there, but I'm seeing momentum now, so I'm liking what I'm seeing for the USD pairs. But you're right, we are still seeing a lot of kind of fluctuation, but I think there's some sense to it, especially on the USD majors, especially yen pairs. Gold, I think, still looks like a good short. Silver still looks like a good short. So there are some nice setups there for me, at least for my style and how I trade. But yeah, the real momentum hasn't really kicked in yet. For example, you know, DXY did have that push yesterday, but you know, we're still quite flat here. So the real move is still in the making, but we're getting the signs of it. So yeah, pretty bullish on the dollar there. Aussie CAD we'll take a look at next as well. You shorting gold? No, I'm looking to short gold. I'm not shorting gold at the moment. I'm looking to short gold or silver, whichever one sets up better. Still bullish. I mean, again, I'm bullish long term, but in terms of the current play, I'm very much bearish, looking to follow this momentum here. Of course, eventually I do expect a bottom to form. You know, I'm not blind to this trend here, but this has definitely been a big shift. So at least for the short term, I'm looking to sell gold. And then when this short term flips, that's when I look to start buying. But of course, yeah, I still do expect gold to eventually get back to highs. I think a lot of people kind of in some difficult situation because gold's just been flying. I think a lot of people are just buying, which of course is the right thing to do in an aggressive market. You want to buy and take as much advantage of the market conditions as possible. But I think this would have invited some people into the market who don't have game plans, in terms of they would have bought because it's bullish, because it's making new highs pretty much every day, which is great. And then people who have bought here are in a lot of pain right now, because again, when you see bullish markets like this, sometimes the game plan goes out the window. Then you're like, okay, it dips, yeah, but it's probably going to keep going up. Dips again, yeah, it's probably going to keep going up. Dips again, yeah, it's looking hella awkward now. So that's why game plans are so important. There's nothing wrong with buying a market which is aggressively bullish. You expect to keep going. I mean, that's what people do with the S&P all the time. But you have to have a game plan of what gets you out the market. And if you're going to buy at highs, what's the plan? You know, how high are you expecting price to go before you do lock in some gains? And if it doesn't, if momentum fails, what's the plan to get out? Yeah, because gold would have made a lot of people money, but now it's losing a lot of people money. And yeah, that's just the cycles of the market, to be honest. Just like Bitcoin, just like the S&P, happens every time. Let's go through Aussie CAD for Francis and Andre. Pound USD. Yes, we can take a look. Passing 1.325 is upwards. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. You mean if it breaks that level, it's bullish? Is that what you mean? I mean, I'll take a look at pound, but yeah, I'm not too sure what you're trying to get at there. The tippity tip. Yeah, exactly. I mean, is that same concept you can copy and paste for pretty much any bullish market ever. The S&P, Bitcoin, you know, people see a market that's flying, you know, because I remember seeing the past like month or so, there's been so much content created on social media about how aggressive gold is, about buying the pullbacks, about, you know, buying and holding it. It's going to 5K, it's going to 10K, which the thing is, that is probably the expectation for gold in the next few years to get to those prices. And of course, because it's so bullish, you just want to buy the dips, absolutely. But when you see all of that noise, you know, there is a good sign to say, okay, maybe a pullback's going to come soon. And also, if you're going to buy the dips, have a plan to get out when things are not working. Don't just buy the dips just because everyone's talking about it. Normally, that's not a good play. And you see that happen with BTC as well. You know, when Bitcoin's kind of in its kind of weird, awkward stage, all the content and all the noise of social media starts to drop. And then when Bitcoin's flying again, it's back at highs, creating new highs, all the content comes back up again. BTC's bullish, it's going to 150,000. And then when it goes for its next pullback, the content kind of drips, it goes down a bit, noise. And it's the cycle of kind of, you know, fear and greed, really. Because when Bitcoin's down, of course, I'm not saying everyone stops talking about Bitcoin, but the noise does definitely go down. And same thing with gold. You know, with gold after this drop, I've definitely seen a diminish in the amount of people talking about gold, you know, compared to a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that's probably more of a sign to start looking to buy the dips again, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that's just human nature, really. As for Aussie CAD, this looks like a big consolidation, really. So I wouldn't really look to do anything inside that box until we can break out. And in terms of direction, 50-50, to be honest. I can see price going both ways. I like the way we respected support here. And we've seen a lot of momentum. I can see an instance where something like this happens, but equally so, we've been pretty consistent with these lower highs. This could also be another low high to push down. So I don't want to be too predictive about where Aussie CAD's going to go, because again, that's not really the situation. It's more so, how do we set up to find a good trade? And I think a good trade is what happens outside of these levels. once we see a convincing move to the downside, well, that's something we can plan and trade. And likewise, a convincing move to the upside, that's something we can plan around and trade too. In here's going to be a lot of the noise, and that's where a lot of people are going to give back profits to the market. So I would avoid getting involved here. I know there could be like some short-term plays, maybe a break and retest of this level might give you short-term bounce, but no opportunity there is going to be of real significance. So yeah, I would wait for us to get that breakout, see a bit more momentum, and then plot some opportunities following that. But yeah, in the middle there, I don't really know what to say with Aussie CAD. Because as I've gained more experience, I have spent less time doing so much micro analysis and more so just spending time doing analysis in the more valuable areas in the market. Because me, a few years ago, I'll be trying to dissect this and say, okay, I'm looking for this move here to happen and this move inside the range. But at the end of the day, it's just noise. And if I'm looking at the effectiveness of my time, if I do the same analysis after a sharp breakout, not only am I spending less time doing the analysis just because the conditions are simpler and easier to read, but also my hit rate's going to be high. I've got a better understanding of the market. I know exactly what I'm looking for. In here is just noise. So I try to step back when we're in these situations, let other people have their fun there. And then when things become clearer to read, direction becomes clearer, momentum becomes clearer, that's when I step in and spend most of my time on my analysis. Because at the end of the day, you have to go where you're paid. Being able to spot those situations are very key. Because there's no point of finding really good trades in certain conditions and then just giving it back when the market conditions change. Not only are you wasting time, but you're wasting money too. It's either, if those conditions change, have a system that trades those conditions in particular. For example, if you're already trending and then things get choppy, you have like a range bound strategy you can deploy into the markets to take advantage of that. Or if you just want to focus on the trend, then when things do get choppy, step away. That means time away from the chart. Set alerts. If you're waiting for price to break the high, set an alert the high there. And you don't need to check the pair until that alert is triggered, basically. And that means you're spending less time in the charts, less room for error. I think there is a positive correlation between, if I had a graph here with the bottom axis, time on charts, TOC, and the left in terms of human error, there's probably a direct proportionality. With more time spent on the charts, the more error you make. Of course, you need to spend some time because you actually need to trade, but if you spend more time, just know there's more chance of error. Emotions, psychology, just fatigue, so many things come into play. If you know the chart, you can't take a bad trade. So yeah, Aussie CAD, I'll leave it alone, to be honest. Then once we clear the highs or the lows, things will look good. Andre, Pound USD, again, as I mentioned earlier, I think shorts look really good, but intraday, we're threatening some big levels. What's that, Annie? No problem. Okay, close the oil short trade at current pullback. Do you see? Okay, yeah, I'll go through oil shortly. So yeah, in terms of Pound USD, again, testing some really key support here. Do you, this isn't the best place for any swing trades really, unless you're looking for a buy. If you're looking for a short, you want to keep it short term. Keep the short term because we've got a big level which we could definitely bounce from. I kind of do expect us to break, but I'll believe it when we see it. As I've spoken about intraday, in terms of like a nice shorting opportunity, a push back to the high, that gives you a smart place for a stop loss, and it gives you a pretty decent target back into the swing low. So maybe if we could see that move happen there for Pound USD, it's a big if because we're looking pretty bearish now, we might roll over, but if we can see a push there, I think that's a smart place for a short. And yeah, a smart place for a take profit. You mentioned 1.325. If we do break 1.325, where's that? The high here. Yeah, if we break through that, I wouldn't be bullish pound, but I wouldn't be bearish, because a break of that structure there doesn't really do anything in terms of the bigger play, which is kind of what I rely upon for my bias. The reason I'm bearish is because of this. That's why I'm bearish. You know, this bullish momentum has failed, and now we're showing momentum to the downside. So that's why I'm bearish. So a break of that lower time frame 50-minute level isn't going to now make me expect this to happen. What it would make me expect is maybe a bigger pullback's going to occur before we do drop. So yeah, short-term buys, yes, but I wouldn't say, okay, we break 1.325, I'm just going to be bullish on pound. You know, unless you're very intraday, maybe. But from a swing perspective, it just means, okay, maybe we have a bigger pullback before we sell off. I said for the 1.325 level, that could be a nice cutoff point, you know, for these shorts here. Because if you do break that high, I wouldn't be so bearish on the 15 anymore. Okay, in terms of oil, so yeah, oil, nice reaction off that level, really key level there. Again, I'm still long-term bearish in oil, which means maybe dollar CAD could be an interesting buy, because if I'm bullish on USD, bearish on oil, which means bearish on CAD, could be a bit of an opportunity there. But yeah, in terms of oil, the market's still pointing down. The reason why I'm bearish is because of the consistency of these lower highs, and the fact that we are trading comfortably below this level here as well, because this level was holding price up for a good like 3-4 years. I mean, you can kind of say we started around 2021 December, respected again 2023, respected again 2024, respected again 2025, broke through, broke back above. Now looks like we're trading underneath quite significantly. So because of that, and the continuous nature of the lower highs and the trend we've got, I would expect to see new lows past this point sooner or later. So I was actually expecting the new lows just to happen here. We were so close. I expected prices to spill over. So the fact that we got this push was a bit surprising. But with respect to resistance, again, unless maybe oil does, for whatever reason, breaks back above that, then yeah, I could probably expect to see some short-term buys. This is my my invalidation point. If price does break through that, then I'll rethink the bias, because not only we've got the key level, but we've also got the last major high, which gave us this low. So we've got a lot of confluence there. So I'm pretty much bearish in oil as long as we stay below that high. If we break above this, there could be some short-term buys there, of course, but I wouldn't necessarily be okay. I'm expecting this. So oil's still pointing down to me. With respect to the really key level, what's the next plan here? Well, we are looking a little bit flat, so there could be a situation where oil does rally again to retest the highs. There's always the opportunity maybe of a double top pattern, a sweep of the high before we drop. Or it could just be a situation where we've had a bit of a drop now for oil, price starts to consolidate, then maybe momentum picks up for whatever reason, and then we can speak about some pullbacks and some follow through from then onwards, and start talking about push back into that low. So yeah, I'm still really bearish on oil. Do you see it touching the recent high again? Last week was bullish. If the recent high you're referring to is this high here, I can see that happening, to be honest, because we haven't really seen the real selling pressure kick in. Like if I refer to this move here, you can see how aggressive that move was. That's a real kind of, yeah, the trend's really in play. The bears are in control. This is like, okay, we hit a big level, now we're kind of just slumped over. It's not really forceful move from the bears yet. So that's why I'll kind of wait to see if we can get another strong move to really imply the bears are in town, and then pullbacks make sense. But equally, if you do break to the upside, yeah, we could very much push back to that high again before a short. So yeah, again, I'm just looking to play the shorts here for oil. So it's either break and retest of the range, or maybe a push back to the high for like a double top. But overall direction, I'm still betting 56, 55, and below that as well. But yeah, I'm still pretty bearish for oil. Andre. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm looking for the same move, but it could make a larger pullback, of course. Yeah, I know, but I mean, that's the situation. We're not here to necessarily pinpoint the exact move price is going to make. This is where process comes into play, and making sure that you're keeping things fairly systematic. Because at the end of the day, maybe pound has a shadow pullback, maybe pound has a deep pullback. Who knows? Maybe there's some, of course, clues along the way if it's going to be shallow or deep, and you can keep an eye out for that. But effectively, yeah, who knows? So yeah, you're right. We could have a deeper pullback, but I think let's play the shallow pullback first. Let's see what the outcome is there, because if it respects, well, I think that's a decent short opportunity. But equally so, if we do get the pullback, we're there to take advantage of that. But of course, if it is going to be a deeper pullback, that's going to probably take 2-3 days to play out, so you can be patient with that. LFTJ, how many screens set up, or just a single curve monitor for trading? I've got 2 screens. Back in the UK, I had 4, but that was overkill. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, for trading, if you just have one big screen, you're good. You don't need more than that. Maybe if you're like intraday, you might have try to have more. But yeah, I've got 2 at the moment, and 2's fine. And to be honest, the bigger reason why I have two screens is for streaming, because I'm not that of an active trader. Well, I'm active, but it's not like I'm like on the 1 minute chart where things happen fast. I can very much use one screen, set an alert, move on to the next pair. So if I really wanted to, I could just use one screen. But the streaming two screens really help out. But yeah, back in UK I had 4, but I didn't need 4, to be honest. Two perfect, but 3 is good if streaming. I got 2 screens set up. My setup's really good, to be honest, and it was cheap. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to drop crazy cash for a decent setup. Like I said, one screen you can get it done. Because again, you're I mean, it's personal preference. Also, whatever your situation is. Because at the end of the day, you want to keep costs low, and then, once you're seeing some good income from trading, you can decide you want to upgrade. But at the end of the day, one screen should do the job, unless you're very, very active on different pairs. Then maybe you would need more than that to actually do what your trade properly. But yeah, for me, 2 screens is fine. Okay, build your computer. Nice. Nice, Bashi. See, I'm not really that that guy. He was into crazy setups, to be honest. I just like the charts, to be honest. So yeah, I've never really been like, oh yeah, let me do anything crazy with my setups. Not because it's bad, just because I've just never been interested, to be honest. I just try and get at least the bare minimum. As long as I can see the charts clearly, I can execute trades well, I'm happy. $55 arc, that would be nice. Don't want to see the stop loss hitting 4K. You can see every every single bit of that stop loss trigger. Morgan, what's up? In pairs you trade, I restrict myself to USD, USD. Okay, and using the majors. Any opinions? I mean, this is where the journal comes into play, because your journal will provide you the answer for that. I think because again, everything in trading is experimentation. Even with me trading for so many years, I'm still experimenting, still trying to find my optimal trading conditions, which I'll probably never get to, but you always want to get closer. So in terms of how many pairs you look to trade, it depends on your trade frequency, depends on the time frames you're looking for, and depends on the types of moves you're looking for as well. Because of course, if you're very intraday and spread is an important part of your trading, then you want to stick to the major currency pairs and kind of forget about the rest. If you're a bit more swing, have slightly bigger stops, you're not so concerned to be in and out of the day, you can hold throughout the week, then you're more looking just for good swing opportunities, which means you want to broaden your horizon. So yen pairs, other markets, maybe commodities as well, which is the camp I'm in. I'm not so concerned with spread. Of course, when I do trade the 50-minute chart, I do have to keep an eye on that a bit more. But when I'm trading a 4-hour, even hourly chart, spread's not the biggest deal. Yes, it's a bit of an added cost, but it's not to the degree where it's going to be diminishing my profits to a significant degree. So I'm not so concerned with spread. So I'm just here to take the best setups on any majors, any minors, exotics, not exotics because swaps on them are insane. But minors and majors, gold and silver, the markets I look to trade. So I trade about 30 to 31 pairs, including gold and silver. So I try to give myself the most opportunity. And to be honest, I'll be looking to add more of that. I'll be adding more crypto, adding more indices, adding oil. So yeah, I'm looking to keep adding, growing that watch, just to be honest, just to find better opportunities elsewhere. So that's my mindset. More pairs, really. More pairs, but more refinement on what the opportunity you're looking for. And if again, that's where like journaling comes into play. If you're seeing that your profits are not really consistent, you're not really finding good consistency, again, diminish those pairs and then you can grow as well. Because I think if you're not finding rhythm in the market, the best thing to do is to simplify everything down and then grow from there. Because then you can get to the root problem of whatever is hindering your consistency. Because you always want to be a place where whatever you're doing right now is working, and then you're expanding on that. If you're in a situation where it's not working, you need to kind of contract, bring it down to one thing, one setup, maybe one pair, one time frame potentially. Find consistency there, then you can add another pair, another setup, etc. I'm an extreme person, so it makes sense. That too many for me. Yeah, I know. And it will be growing as well. I think I could probably take it to about 40. But again, with all those pairs, there needs to be structure as well. It's not that like I look at every single one of those markets every single day. I don't. Most of my analysis is done on the weekend. I've only got maybe about 5 or 6 pairs which actually look good for the following week. So at one time, I'm only interested in about 5 or 6 pairs. Find that works for you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, find what works for you, but don't overwhelm yourself. You should feel comfortable. Very, very true. That's well said, Bashi. You don't want to feel like you're chasing anything. Because I could very much get into that situation where it feels like I'm chasing the market because there's so many markets I'm looking at. Moves happen all the time. There's no way I can tackle everything. Which is why I create watches for the week and kind of ignore what's not looking too good. But yeah, you do want to be comfortable. And like I said, that's why if things are not working, start small and then you can grow. It doesn't necessarily mean have to. When I say grow, it doesn't necessarily mean have. Are we back? Maybe. Let me check. Looks like we are. Apologies, guys. It's always the little cutout there of the internet. So I do apologize. Where was we? But I can understand too, because if I understand it right, you trade off the bigger time frame support and resistance, and it takes time. Of course. I mean, I'm starting to trade a bit more intraday, but yeah, primarily full hour time frame is still my main guy. So that will take time to set up, because I say I do trade over 30 markets, but there has been some of those markets where I haven't actually traded this year entirely. Like, for example, which markets have I not traded this year? I haven't traded dollar CHF this year. I have traded Aussie CAD. I haven't traded Euro CAD this year. Have I traded Pound CAD? Yeah, I've traded Pound CAD. Trade Pound Aussie. I haven't traded Aussie New Zealand dollar this year. I haven't traded Euro Pound this year. Euro Aussie. Yeah, I've traded USD. I've traded Pound NZD. I've traded Aussie Swiss. I haven't traded Aussie Swiss this year. No, I have traded Aussie Swiss this year. New Zealand CHF. I have CAD. CAD CHF I haven't traded this year. Euro CHF I have. Pound CHF. Pound CHF? I'm not too sure. I might not have. But yeah, there's a good about 10 markets which I haven't actually touched this year. So again, if there was a coincidence where I had those 10 markets as my watch list on the 4-hour chart, there's a situation where I might not even take a trade this whole year because nothing's actually set up. So yeah, more markets are needed the higher time frame you trade. And to be honest, it's not that there hasn't been a setup on those pairs. It just probably hasn't been a really good one, which I wanted to trade. Okay, have fun at work, Francis. 8 pairs in the 1 minute. Yeah, that's crazy work. 8 pairs in the 1 minute is insane. Even 4 to 5 is a decent amount, but of course, if you can digest that and be comfortable, that's the main thing. But yeah, 8 pairs is insane. Mid-stream pauses. Add carrot to the stream. Exactly. Who else is having technical difficulties like me? No one. I've started trading US30, yes. I'm at the moment of back testing S&P and the NASDAQ and the FTSE. So yeah, I'm looking to expand, to be honest. So yeah, US30, I've adopted that one. But yeah, I haven't finished my rundown of the S&P, NAS and the FTSE. So yeah, more indices coming. I'm looking to get into oil as well, and a bunch of the bigger cryptocurrencies too. Bitcoin, ETH, Dodge, XRP. And again, the thing with trading as well is that nothing is absolute. Don't think you have to commit with something and stick with something. forever. It could be a situation where maybe I'd look to trade the indices or oil or whatever, and if I can see things are not quite working for me, I will ditch the currency. I will ditch the pair, not currency, but I will ditch the market. And if we get to a situation where I can see something's a bit more profitable for me, I will lean into that as well. Maybe upping risk a little bit, trading a little bit more frequently, kind of allowing my edge to find itself, and then I'm looking to follow that. And then when my edge kind of says, oh yeah, it's not working here, I will walk away with it. What's your criteria then for a trade? Well, I've got two ways of trading. Both favor trending markets. I have a style for lightly trending markets or more loosely trending markets, and I have a style for really aggressive markets. When I'm looking for aggressive markets, I'm kind of looking for quick break and retest of recent highs, sometimes weekly highs or daily highs, or just areas where we've had a big drop. So I'm looking for areas where we've ripped through, and I'm looking for a quick retest with higher time frame context. I always use lower time frame to execute my ideas from a higher time frame. So it's always higher time frame gives me the context, lower time frame is where I execute on the idea. And the more loosely trading strategy is around, it combines mean reversion with trend following. So for example, you've got a trend in the market, it's more likely trending, but there is trend to it. The idea is trying to pick the extreme low of that pullback to then take it towards the mean, and then hopefully if it pays out really well, back to the high and maybe a bit further as well. So if you can kind of print like an average through the middle here of the trend, that would be the mean of the trend. Those are your highs, those are your lows. Once price shifts this is more so looking at kind of like, that's convenient. Now we're back. It always does this towards the end of the stream. I don't know why. I'm not too sure how much you caught of that. But essentially I'm looking at kind of trading mean reversion. So price is away from the mean. I'm looking to trade it towards the mean, but I'm doing it with trend in play. So I've got not only the fact that the market stretched, but I'm expecting the overall momentum to take control. So it's kind of two birds, one stone situation. This is the strategy I trade the most often because primarily that's really what markets are in most of the time. And then sometimes you get situations where momentum really picks up, and that's where I'm more aggressive with the pullbacks. But this is my bread and butter. But yeah, in terms of like spotting the criteria to actually trade the market, I'm just looking for those kind of light trend themes. I'm looking for levels where I can trade as well. So, if I can spot like a market in a nice trend, that will be the first filter. And then I'll be looking to see what levels look good to actually buy and sell from. That'll be the second filter. And then I'll be looking at proximity as well, because maybe a level looks really good, but it might not hit in the next 2-3 weeks. So I don't really need to be too concerned about it. But maybe Euro USD might hit in the next 24-48 hours. So that's something I'm going to heavily focus on. And then I'll keep up to date how price gets the level, how it reacts, and then that'll justify the entry. I understand pound weakness, but the current zone is not the best for the sell. Buyers want to step in, but won't be sustainable, I doubt. Is that for pound USD? Yeah, I mean, pound USD is definitely coming to a big level. That's why I said intraday shorts do look good, just keeping it short term. Pull back there, then a continuation I think makes sense. Just not looking for like a big play, because of course this is a pretty big level. I actually do think price is likely to break through this, but if I'm going to sell, it's because I'm looking for like a small piece of the pie. I don't want to be trying to hold through this level, and if I was doing that, it would be a very small size. because there's clear evidence that big players are buying here. Yeah, good stuff. US30 is cleaner NAS. Yeah, that's why I start with US30, because for my initial kind of research, US30 looked a little bit better, and especially in its similarities with FX as well, with some of the pullbacks. So yeah, I'm gonna look to see if I can replicate that on the NAS and on the S&P. FTSE as well, and I'll probably add DAX later on. I'm doing it one at a time. And then oil as well, and then cryptocurrencies. I know LFTJ. He's retired. Or he's just getting slow. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's found another streamer to go and annoy. I was wondering, are you need an editor? Not at the moment, Deity. Appreciate the offer though. Oh, do you trade US30, Bashi? How much money do you find comfortable to trade with? Well, it depends on my intentions. And also depends on how aggressive, because I've got different accounts for different intentions. I've got some smaller accounts where I'm a bit more aggressive, and the goal of that account is to be really aggressive and take as much as possible. And I've got an account where everything is slow and my priority is defense and slow growth. And both are very different in terms of money. And to be honest, the big account, actually probably less comfortable with, because there's more money there, but I'm of course taking less risk. The smaller account, I know if worst case scenario it goes horribly wrong, I've still got my more safe, my less risky account. So it depends really on the situation. If my goal is to maximize growth, I could be very comfortable with any account of, if it's my personal money, any account like five or four figures, if I'm just trying to maximize growth. Anything more than that, I would be very, very cautious. And if it's like prop firm account, any account, to be honest, because I know the risk is minimal to the trader. So you're only looking at the fee which you paid for the challenge, so that's your risk, which compared to the account is very small. Okay, you can trade gold, silver, US30, NAS, and Forex. Nice. But I just stick to the usual. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, especially when the 1 minute chart, there's no need to go and expand too crazy, because even just one pair in the 1 minute can be quite hectic sometimes. And at the end of the day, we're here to make money. Whether you trade one pair, whether you trade 1,000 pairs, doesn't really matter. It's more what matters. What's your P&L doing? What's your equity curve doing? So if you can manage one pair well, great, maximize that. If you can manage a lot of pairs, great, maximize that too. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of keeping track of what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just floating about, and the markets won't reward floating about and just being passive. You need to always be growing, even if you're in drawdown, even if you're losing money, you're still growing, because you're learning what not to do really. So every kind of 10 trades you take is always a learning experience. You take 10 trades, you learn. You take another 10 trades, you learn a bit. Even if your equity curve is pointing down, you're learning, okay, what I did here, what worked well, what didn't work well. Let's take that into the next 10 trades. Let's take that into the next 10 trades. And eventually you're going to learn enough to point the equity curve up. And then even when the equity curve's up, you're still learning as well. How can you perform better? How can you avoid giving back too much during drawdown? What's up, Laura? I hope I said that correctly. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Just in time for the end, actually. Funny enough. Appreciate everyone who's coming to the stream. Been a bit of a boring week for me. I haven't actually taken any new positions this week, to be honest. And to be honest, I kind of expected it because I wasn't a fan of USD. I am now a fan of USD. So now I'm quite interested in quite a few USD pairs. Not too sure if I get any opportunities. Euro looks like it's falling out of the sky right now. I do like the shorts up there. I don't see us pulling back there, unfortunately. I think if I had to try and find a trade here, I'm probably scaling down to like a 5-minute chart for anything here, which is a little bit too low for me. But yeah, I do like euro shorts. I do like pound shorts. I do like dollar yen buys, like CAD yen buys, Swiss euro. Those look really good. I like gold shorts. I like silver shorts. So I've got quite a few pairs which I like, especially going into the upcoming week as well. Just nothing quite setting up yet. This is gold. If it can push into that high there, I'll keep a close eye for some shorts. So yeah, a bit of more of a stagnant period with my trade frequency, but I think that could change from next week or maybe even by tomorrow. We shall have to wait and see. How one break even GJ, that's it. Next week looking good. Yeah, I agree. I think USD steps up a notch. I think yen steps up a notch. I think we could see some real momentum. So I think it could be a nice fruitful end to the year actually with, yeah, a lot of breakouts. Because USD just been in a range. And if it breaks out end of October, early November, that should last for us till the end of the year, hopefully. Anyway, guys, as always, I will be live again tomorrow. And if you do enjoy the streams, do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. And of course, check out the channel memberships. I do post content there, trade ideas. So if you're interested and want to follow the channel further and support further, check out the memberships as well. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day. I will be live again tomorrow. Same time as always on the channel. So I hope to see you all there. And of course, I'll be posting my analysis, recapping on the weekend this week and forecast the next. So look out for that as well. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next session. Take care.
Six AI agents, each built with a unique edge. Miko, AI, Team Leader. Ori AI, Fundamental Analyst. XAU, AI, Technical Analyst. Mesa, AI, Risk Management Specialist. Fenwa, AI Market Sentiment Analyst. And Naledi AI, the cryptocurrency expert. Together, they're engineered to protect, guide, and transform your trading. The future of trading is here. Experience Zentrix AI.